I read somewhere that the Ribble Valley, in which Clitheroe is the best educated borough in the country or something, so that they're not only white middle class, they're also well educated. I mean, Clitheroe is a market town surrounded by farmers and people who like hunting and things like that, you know, very traditionally British.
It's an old town, it's Clitheroe, a lovely place to live.
It's a very nice northern town, isn't it? It's seen better days.
Mm-hmm. Community's excellent. Everybody seems to know everyone else. Everyone will, you know, jump and run if anybody's in trouble. Yeah, it's very good that way.
We're here in Lancashire in the ancient historic town of Clitheroe in front of a historic building which the Muslims have managed to acquire in order to build a masjid. But there are problems, aren't there, Yusuf?
Absolutely, there are problems, and brothers and sisters, what we're going to do is discuss some of the history behind how the Muslims managed to obtain this building and what is going to be the future of this building.
Well, over 40 years ago, the Muslim community arrived in Clitheroe and have been working here ever since. So my grandfather came back in mid-1960s, and my father as well, and his brothers, and quite a few members of the Muslim community who settled down here to work. In time, obviously, they needed their own place of worship as devout Muslims, and so they tried really hard to get a place of worship going, but unfortunately they faced a lot of resistance and a lot of problems and a lot of animosity amongst the wider community, because people didn't really want a Muslim place of worship because they didn't really understand it, so they feared it.
Well, I've been told there's a mosque getting open in Clitheroe, and I think it'll attract a lot more Muslims around Clitheroe, but personally, in my opinion, I don't really care about it. I'm not a racist person, so it's all good. People get like frightened by it, in the way I've been told by people, especially older people.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think they'd get frightened?
9/11 bombings, highlighted situations like that. Stuff like that, yeah, stereotypical, seeing it in that way.
Numerous applications went in throughout the 80s and 90s. There were a number of sites. There was an end terraced house, there was an old car park, there was a disused council facility. A number of areas we literally went round the town looking for different places, but none of them seemed to be suitable, and the council always seemed to be citing issues around traffic, parking, noise and things like this. And people in the wider community raised concerns about more Muslims coming into the town, issues around house prices going down, and a lot of unfounded fears really.
The Muslim community has faced many challenges and barriers along the way. You know, we've had to fight the BNP, we've had to fight councillors who are obviously opposed to it, we've had to fight the residents of this town, because we, the Muslim community of 40 to 50 families in this town, are a very small minority. Yet, you know, we feel that we have every right, just like any other faith, to have a place of worship. Now, there's been a lot of sort of animosity towards us in the local media, but you know, by the grace of Allah, we've persevered and we've stuck at it, and eventually we've got this place which we can call our own. But now we want to get this building up and running, not necessarily for myself or those of my age, but for the future generations, because people like myself have grown up sadly in this town without a masjid to go and visit. And it is obviously such an integral part of every Muslim's life is the masjid, and in some ways, you know, I've missed out, and I certainly don't want my children and their children to miss out. And also we owe it to those elders who came over in the 60s and the 70s to, you know, finish off the work that they started. Myself and my colleague Shiraz, our fathers, God bless their dear souls, you know, when they came to this country, obviously worked very hard to bring their families over and to ultimately provide for them. And obviously we feel that we have a duty and a responsibility to those people who started the whole project over 30 odd years ago to finish it off. Now we're sort of at the stage now where it's sort of the beginning of the end, but even that is still a long road to travel along. And obviously, you know, we're desperate for funds which will enable us to, you know, bring this project, this dream, this reality to fruition.
Straight into this hole. So what, and without really encroaching on the ladies' prayer area or the main prayer area?
We aim to have 3 floors in the building, The first ground floor will be a prayer area for the men and the wudu hanis as well. Then on the second floor is the facilities for the sisters, along with wudu hanis and also classrooms for the teachings of Islam. On the third floor, it is going to be a cafeteria along with facilities for the non-Muslims, i.e. the local MP is going to hold surgeries here, the scouts groups and things like that.
This part of the building will eventually, inshallah, become the main prayer area, And so the men will congregate here, they will make wudu outside there in a special building that's going to be constructed, and they will assemble for the prayers here. And outside on the other side of this vast space, alhamdulillah, is going to be a couple of offices that will be like outreach, administration, social, spiritual requirements of all the community, including the non-Muslims, alhamdulillah. So this is the ground floor, and we're going to go upstairs now. And this area will serve the needs of the women in the community. And many, unfortunately, of our masjids are not serving the women. So, very important area, women's prayer area, and some office space, some education block, you know, and creche for the kids as well. So it's going to be a very big area. Once all that is knocked through, all these partitions are gotten rid of here and there, the women will be very happy, I'm sure. So that's essentially the first floor. So are we going to go up to the next floor? This will be called the Unity Hall. And I think it's going to be a great, great dawah area. It's going to fulfill the needs of the wider community, you see. There's going to be a kitchen area here. There's going to be what's called the Unity Hall for community activities generally and outreach. And there'll be a beautiful sort of open space here with lots of tables and chairs, and there'll be served lots of refreshments and lots of delicacies from Pakistan and Bangladesh and all over the Muslim world, alhamdulillah. I'm really looking forward to it being built.